Hello all, welcome back to Shade with Peg Leg. Starting the camera, I knocked the camera off angle. Okay, that's better. Oops. Hi. Anyways, welcome back everyone. I appreciate you showing up. I appreciate all my subscribers, new and old. I really do. Hell, I thought I might get 10 people to watch me. And here we are getting close to 150, so I appreciate all of your attention and all of you watching, I really do. Otto Kampfe. It's the case it comes in. Under $25. This was the other one, the other Otto Kampfe. If that name is familiar, Kampfe, it's Kampfe. The Kampfe brothers migrated to the United States from Germany in 1870, and they opened a tool and die shop in Brooklyn, New York. And I believe there was three brothers, Otto, Richard, and Frederick. I believe it was Frederick, PAA Cube, non-mentholated, just plain cube. I believe it was Frederick that took a straight razor and he cut the blade down and he put it into a cage and a handle. And he made the first ever, well, what we would consider the first ever safety razor. And he made them for friends and family, and thus the Star Razor Company was born. Which brings us to today with a plethora of razors that we have out there in this style. The blade today is something I found after I lost them. The Gillette 7 o'clock Super Platinum Black Box. Remember I lost these? If you guys have been following me at all, I lost these. I swear I put them up here and I put the one-use blade on top and they just disappeared. Somehow, I don't know when I did it, how I did it. I must have done it because I would have been the only one to do it. 1 second. Soap is Cella. And I do have the splash and balm. You guys just saw me open that the other day. And this is our lather on the 24mm Omega boar brush that Matthew Lawrence sent me. So, okay. They got into this drawer over here where I keep tweezers, nail clippers, pair of scissors, just little odds and ends and bullshit like you have in your drawer in your bathroom. I have no idea how it got there. I have never in my life put blades in that drawer. Never. The only thing close to a blade in there is my little plastic disposables that I use occasionally, just like to trim around my ears. Like if I use my leaf razor on my head shave, I have to use that to trim around the ears because the leaf doesn't get in here tight enough for me. And I use that on there. But, you know, it's got odds and ends and shit. I opened that drawer and looked in there. I was like, what the hell are you doing in here? And on top of that, something else I never do. I have a little cabinet over here that's got 6 shelves on it. The first shelf is blades have been used one time. The second shelf is one shelf, blades used once. Second shelf, blades have been used twice. Third shelf, blades 3 times. 4, 5, 6 times. Right? I always put the blades after I've used them in the. I put it back in that box. And there was 5 blades in it, and there was only one in there that had been opened. The rest are glued shut. This one was open. That's how I knew which blade I was like, what in the hell is going on? Because this is something I've never done. I must have spazzed out. Maybe I started sleepwalking again and got up and did it in my sleep. I don't know if I ever told you guys my sleepwalking stories. I have a lot of them, but my most famous sleepwalking story is I was 19, 20 years old. I had to go to work the next morning. Otto Kampfe, Gillette 7 o'clock, super platinum, black box, second use. Excuse me. Okay. Now remember, this is back before the days of debit cards and everything. You used cash or a credit card, and the pumps did not, gas pumps did not have pay at the pump. You had to go inside. Okay, I think I was 19 years old. I was a breakfast cook. And I had to get up early in the morning. I had to be at work at 5 a.m. I had to get up at like 4, take my shower, get dressed, and blah, blah, blah. And I knew I had to stop and get gas on my way to work. I was low. My little light thingy was almost ready to come on. To say, hey, dumbass, you got 25 miles before you run out. It wasn't on yet, but it was getting close. So I knew I had to get gas. Well, I wake up the next morning, take my shower, get dressed for work, head out the door, start the car, gas gauge goes full. I was like, wait a minute. So I pulled out my wallet. Sure enough, I'm missing like 20 bucks. Yeah, back in those days, you could go from empty to full in 20 bucks. How about that? It's something you can't even come close to today. So anyways, I'm like, what the hell? Here's the kicker. I had gone in my sleep to the gas station, which was 3/4 of a mile away from the house, and gotten gas. Filled my car up, came back, went back to bed. It was on my mind so much when I went to sleep that I did it in my sleep. Here's the kicker. Back then, I used to sleep in my birthday suit, in the buff. Whether I put clothes on and went and got gas, or if I just grabbed my wallet and went and got gas, I will never know. But the gas station was open 24 hours. That was actually back when most places started going to 24 hours. It wasn't all that common yet. A lot of places still closed at 11 or 12 o'clock at night, but some places were starting to stay open till, well, they actually never closed. They were open all the time. But that's one thing I will never know, is if I grabbed my wallet and went and got gas, naked, or if I actually put clothes on and went and got gas. Tell you, I never went to that gas station that late at night to ask the clerk if they'd ever seen me before. Because I did not want to say, not only have I seen you, I've seen all of you. I did not want to hear that. You don't know. I was asleep. I drove in my sleep across the green. I eventually stopped doing that, stopped sleepwalking. But unless this just recently happened again, and I moved them damn blades into the drawer. Okay, I will say this for these Gillette Super Platinums. Good blade, smooth, sharp. I still prefer Gillette Platinum, just the regular blue package Platinums over these. These have more feedback as far as audio goes, especially in this razor. Oh my God. I'm sure you can hear that. I was reading a story yesterday, last night actually. Did you know NASA made the X-43? It's a rocket-powered plane that did Mach 9.6. They made 3 of them. The first one, there was a malfunction halfway through the test with one of the engines, and it crashed into the ocean. They did all the testing out over the ocean because the planes were designed never to be recovered. Fly once, drop into the ocean, goodbye, done with it. A lot of wasted money, but that's what they did. They did 3 of them. In 2001, they did this. And the last of it was 2004. Mach 9.6 is 11,500 miles an hour. That's hella fast. Considering the SR-71 Blackbird is a Mach 3 plane. Oh, speaking of the Blackbird, did you know that Lockheed's they're designing, processing, going to build an SR-72? They're in the process of finalizing the details so they can build it. Against the grain, up. I'll tell you guys something while I'm doing this before we get into the SR-72. You'll see a lot of channels, they say map your face, see which way your hairs grow, which way the grain is, how it grows. Hang on a second. So you know what's against the grain, what's across the grain, what's with the grain. All right, I did an experiment early in the channel. If you remember, if you were here, where I took a razor and instead of going with the grain first pass, across the grain second pass, and against the grain third pass, I mixed it up. I went like against the grain, across, with the grain, not across the grain. I don't remember which order I did, but I mixed it up. And I got the same shape. I did that on one side of my face, and on the other side, I did the standard down, across, against, to show that no matter how you did it, your shave would be the same. And it was. Yes, I still follow the with, across, and against principle. But you don't have to. You can do it any way you want. And your shave should come out about the same way. Anyways, I've never mapped the hair growth on my face to see which way it grows. Because it doesn't matter. If this is with the grain for most people, if this is against the grain for some people, it doesn't matter. You're covering all three directions during your shave. Doesn't matter. I proved that. Your shave comes out the same no matter which way you go on which paths. That's like the standard with using an adjustable razor is to go, let's just say 963. You go to smoother for the last pass. And I always go 369. Because I want that last pass to be as close as I can make it to get that finest of stubble that's still in the skin. And guess what? When I got done, I did that. 369, 963. 369 was the same as 963 when I got done. Where it was different was 2 days later. 369 felt like 1 day's worth of growth, and 963 felt like 2 days worth of growth. That was the difference. As far as feel at the end of the shave, the same. But anyways, SR72. If you don't believe me, try it yourself. Anything I've said today, try it yourself, except for going to get gas while you're naked. Don't try that. That'll get you in jail. No. All right, SR72. I'm going to add some water because my skin, I'll tell you, that Cella is, I prefer Proraso. This is drying my skin. Proraso has more, yeah, still here, still a little bit there. Has more post-shave slickness. Okay, anyways. I like the scent of this better than cherry almond, but all right, SR72. Lockheed is finishing up. They want to have one flying by 2025. Whether the United States government's going to buy one or not, we don't know. The SR-71 was a Mach 3 plane, 3 times the speed of sound. The SR-72, a Mach 6 plane, 6 times the speed of sound. They say they've already got the engines for it. What they don't have is the material to build the plane to withstand that much heat from the air passing over it, the friction it creates. Everything they have now gets too hot. Could you imagine Mach 6? That's crazy. You hear it? That's hella fast, guys. Mach 6. And they're using pulse engines. You guys know what pulse engines are, where they like instead of a constant that's what they're using. Okay, we're good here. Just a little bit right there. See if we can pick it up. See if we can get it. And then one guy was saying in the article that because they were, the question was put to them, why don't you just make a stealth plane that can't be detected? And he said, when we can make one that goes so fast it doesn't matter if it's seen or not, because nothing can catch it. What does it matter if it's stealth or not? Which is kind of true. If it can outrun a missile, what do you care if anybody sees it or not? I got 99% of it. I got just a couple there. That's good. We can go with that. Yeah. So, but she's kind of got a point, doesn't he? If you're going so fast, nobody can catch you. And you can outrun a bullet or a missile. And you're flying at 110,000 feet. Doesn't really matter now, does it? Right there, I got myself. Okay. The Oxbow or Oxcart 12 was the plane that was around, that was the CIA spy plane. It was the CIA's version of the SR-71 in the 80s. And it was actually, the SR-71 was a Mach 3.27 plane. And the CIA's plane was actually a Mach 3.35. They looked exactly alike. And they were pretty much exactly alike. The CIA's plane was a little lighter. So it was just a wee bit faster because it was lighter. But still, do you guys know the SR-71 actually never flew over Russia or the Soviet Union? It never violated Soviet airspace. It always flew along the edge, and the cameras on it were so good, it could take pictures hundreds of miles in, if not thousands. from what I understand of the article was the curvature of the Earth limited the cameras on the SR-71. That's the only thing that limited it. Which, Hazel? But they could take pictures that far in, just flying on the border. Cella aftershave? Cella aftershave, huh? Good scent. I like that. I like that. I like the scent, but again, I prefer the Proraso sandalwood over this. Nothing wrong with the cherry almond scent. Okay. It's got a little thingy on it and hadn't opened it yet. Had to take my tweezers out to grab a hold of it. I got no fingernails. Oops. Whoa. That stuff comes running out. That's way more than I need. All right, guys. Good shave. This razor, because of the blade gap, I did not use a really sharp blade in it because it doesn't have a lot of overhang. It's got some, but I mean, it's decent. It's not huge, but it's not little either. It's a decent overhang and it's got a decent blade gap. So I didn't want to use, and also the end tabs are enclosed. You notice the angle of the head on the ends. I didn't want to use a really sharp blade in it. That's the reason I used that 7 o'clock Super Platinum again. I would probably step down one more on the sharpness scale with that razor to see how it does with an even less sharp blade. Let's put it that way. To see if it calms the razor down, because it was a little hard on my neck, but I don't know if that was from the blade of the razor or both. So I would step it down one more. I don't know. I got so many blades over here. I don't know what I would step it down to, but I step it down from that blade to something else. All right, guys. I appreciate your time. Don't forget my affiliate link so we can get another gift card out to you guys. Put another contest out there for you guys to get a chance to win a gift card. I appreciate you all joining me. Thank you. I want you all to take care and have a good weekend. I'll see you tomorrow for the head shave. So for right now, don't go get gas naked. Don't do that. Done with the babbling fat guy in the camera. You're in the chair next. Happy shaves out there, guys.